How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Creators Process, and today I'm here with Australian musician Ben. How you doing today, man?
Feeling magical, man. Yeah.
That's the way it is. That's the way it is. And so, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience and just tell us who you are?
Okay. Hi, I'm Ben Jansz. I am a musician. I currently live up Northern Rivers in a beautiful place called Dorreby. And mainly I'm a musician, but I consider myself an artist. So whether it's craft, drawing, tattooing, I dabble in modelling. I've only done a couple of shoots, but it's been really inspiring. But I've been a musician since I can remember, and that's it.
Fantastic. And so, when it comes to doing music, how long have you been doing that for?
Well, definitely I've been listening to music pretty much since I was in the womb. My mum went crazy with blasting tunes, but I think at the age of 9, Mum and Dad got me a guitar, and I remember being absolutely infatuated with this instrument and just how do I play this, and ever since then I have just been obsessed with learning all the instruments and just expressing myself in any way I can, because I've always been drawing as well before that, and that was always a really good way of self-expression. But when I found the guitar, it was home.
It was home to you.
It was home. It just came to me so quickly, and I probably around the age of 14, I actually started teaching guitar because I was really into it, and that also made me learn a lot more as well. Teaching younger students and people that are interested, it helped me develop my skills also with the language of music, and being able to actually talk in different languages to people and see how their mind works when it comes to that type of expression. I started singing at the age of 16, and after that I've been gigging ever since.
Wow,
yeah.
So quite a long time now.
Yeah. Well, I'm 25 now, so 9 years of gigging.
Wow, that's fantastic, man. And you said that you play a few different instruments. So what instruments other than guitar do you play?
So the main ones are guitar and yidaki, didgeridoo. It's one of my favourite instruments, not only for creating music, but meditation, and just it's a really good place to get into kind of a state, like breath work as well. Like the breath work that you can do with the didgeridoo is really, really, really healing. Yeah. And just the history that comes with where the yidaki comes from, I've been very blessed to sit with mob around Australia and learn a lot about its history and the culture, and it's definitely something that I want to stand for and express, and keep culture alive in my shows, and I want to be an advocate for Australia, my land, my home that I was born on.
Wow, that's fantastic, man. And so you said that you started doing gigs when you were 16, is that correct?
Yes. So that was when I first started doing my residency gigs from the age of 16. My first actual gig was my uncle's wedding when I was 14.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I couldn't sing, but I was playing guitar, and my uncle was a guitarist, and he always was very, very supportive. So he goes, "Can you please play guitar at my wedding?" I'm like, "Okay." And having a little taste for performing, I was just like, "Oh right, I'm definitely into this." And my first residency when I was 16, I remember Mum and Dad have always been supportive, and they pushed me, go, you should try getting a gig. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of like, how do I get a gig? How do we do this? So I ended up walking into a beer and wine lounge, a pub just down the road from where I grew up in Hastings, where we are now, in Somerville. And I walked in with my guitar and said, "Hey, I would love to perform here. Do you do live music?" And they're just like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, can I play you a couple of songs, and then can we have a chat?" And so I played them a couple of songs, and luckily they were blown away. And they said, "Awesome, do you want to play every 2 weeks?" And I'm like, yeah, I want to play every 2 weeks. And then they said, "Well, actually, how old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 16. But just tell everyone you're 18. And
Wow.
yeah, and I've been really lucky. Like my parents have always supported me when it comes to music. Supported me when it comes to any sort of expression in what I'm interested in, and it's been like honestly very privileged and lucky. They literally, till I got my license, they drove me to every gig,
Wow.
gig, and like and I started getting quite a lot of gigs at 18 as well. So yeah, and even after that, they always come and watch and get into it. It wasn't until I was about 19, 20 that I started original gigging, doing my original music, and ever since then, like I really, really hold great integrity in being an artist over a musician. I try not to trigger too many people with that phrase. Like I want to always want to be performing for me and express what I'm about and where this comes from, because the way I see it is when I see someone play their music, when I see someone do their thing, it is so inspiring, and I really feel like I can see them. I really feel like I'm acknowledging where they are, and that reflection helps me see a part of myself.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I enjoy seeing people play covers and do their own version of covers, but original music's where it's at for me, and not only listening but watching people perform. I'm definitely because I'm watching everything they're doing, because I'm inspired by how the music is made more than just hearing the music. Yeah. Some of my favourite musicians are one-man band, multi-instrumentalists, doing all these things at once, and I'm like, yeah!
Because I guess, when you're listening to an artist, you get a bit of a taste of their own life, and then you can actually see a bit of yourself in their life when they're performing.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what you would love to try and do yourself in your music.
Definitely. I every time it's all about just expressing who I am and sharing me. So at the end of the day, sorry if people take this the wrong way, but I'm not playing music for you. I'm playing music for me, and I'm sharing that with you. Yeah. And that self-nourishment, that nurturing, that healing expression, that's when I feel that people truly engage and truly feel what is happening in front of them.
Absolutely.
Because I've seen musicians go through the motions, and it's just you can see the talent there, but there's no soul.
Yeah.
And I feel because they've been a little bit jaded, I need to make a buck, I'm going to do a gig. And it's I'm doing it for the money, I'm not doing it for me anymore. And that's where I never want to get to. I have done some shows where it has been like that, and I've just kicked myself. I'm like, why did you fucking do that? But yeah, at the end of the day, it's about expressing my story, what I see, and hopefully having people hear it.
That's fantastic, man. And I definitely, I've heard some of your music myself, and I can definitely see that you're quite a storyteller when it comes to what you do. And I guess on the topic of writing music, so when you said you started doing original music at 19, 20, is that correct?
Yeah, that's when I really got into it. I tried when I was younger, and I had a couple of cool little songs, but I really had a writer's block.
Okay.
I've always, to be honest, I could write music, with instruments, but when it came to the words and expressing my voice, that was really difficult. I'm a loud kind of obnoxious person, and I've really come into owning that now, and really knowing what that is to be that way. And I used to be quite, I was bullied throughout my schooling, and whenever I'd express myself with absolute, confidence, you just get shut down, and that energetically felt like I closed off my voice.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I actually left the place I grew up in and travelled Australia that I felt completely free to just express without any judgment. And I know that you shouldn't be afraid of judgment, but there's certain programmings throughout childhood that really, there's this fear that gets in the way. And breaking out of that fear and out of that mould, opened up my voice and opened up these words and these songs. And and a lot of the songs that I first wrote was just about you know, breaking away from that fear and, you know, and seeing the world for what it really is. And, you know, like I have a few political songs here and there, and, you know, and as I, more of my songwriting, it was definitely, you know, all about expressing freely, and also if you see an injustice, like let's stand up for that fucking injustice and do something about it, you know, not just sit on the sidelines. And especially at the moment, it's also about raw, radical, emotional freedom as well.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
amazing. So you write with, as they say, you write with soul.
Yeah.
In your work.
Yeah. If I'm not writing with soul, like I just don't see any point. It's not writing for me. It's like it's I literally can't. Like any artist, a part of themselves is within everything that they do, and I like that to bleed into every part of my life, not just like, you know, the art of being human is an art. So you know, I want to be hold integrity, and like, you know, I'm growing every single day. You know, and I've got plenty of faults and flaws, but still I've come to a point now where it's okay. Like, what do I believe in? What do I know? And I'm not going to compromise in that respect anymore. I am going to be I'm going to be aware, and I'm going to accommodate, but I'm always going to be me.
Absolutely. And you know, I think when you're doing art, it should always be for you, and then I guess the people around you then start following you because they see this person that's just being them, and then they can go like, well, if this person can be themselves, then I can be myself, you know.
Most definitely, man. It's definitely something I live by, because I am inspired by those beautiful creatures that you can just see. They almost don't even know they're there. You know, they're fucking lost in their art, and it's just like, you're just in awe going, oh my God, like this is incredible, you know, like it's definitely humbling, having people, you know, come up to me and tell me, you know, that my music has helped them, or they see it for what it is. And when I have people express to me the emotions that flood through them when hearing it, it is such a fucking honour, and it's a beautiful byproduct of what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome, man. And so, like, I'll ask you about, so when you started doing the gigs and all that, and you started writing music, was there any trials that you had to go through? Like, were there hard times that, you know, what were some of the things that you went through when trying to become and get into the spotlight, becoming a musician?
Okay, so when it came to playing guitar, I was doing talent shows at the age of 12, just in the local areas, you know, playing Johnny Be Good on electric guitar in grade 6, shredding, and like, yeah, I've always had the support of my family, which has always given me, and like I really am so grateful for that, because I know a lot of people don't have that, and it is hard to break free and have the confidence and just the ability to get up on stage and bare your soul. And you know, I've always had the support of the people around me, which I'm very grateful for. It was the singing that was hard for me to break through, because I remember when I was a young kid I wanted to sing, but I remember when I was little, I would have been grade 4 or 5, I sang a song to my crush and she laughed at my face, and just like, oh, like a little bit heartbroken, maybe I really suck, I shouldn't sing. And then I have to say, like, knowing having self-worth is very important, but I think support of the people around you, that it does aid in, you know, putting yourself out there. Like, obviously the willpower and the strength to do it with no help is admirable, so admirable, and I am so inspired by the people that have had no one and gone up there and just done it. Like, that is powerful and beautiful. And you know, like when I started singing, I wasn't incredible at all. I worked really hard to become great at what I believe is great for my own expression, to do what I do, and it was like not so much mimicking the artists, but like being inspired by some of the main artists helped me open up my voice. So Matt Corby was one of the main artists that helped me open up, because I have always been quite a loud, energetic person.
Yeah.
So having the ability to just roar like that that was something that resided in me. I'm like, okay, I need to nurture this. And then, you know, getting up and playing that, you know, the first couple of shows when I was 16, and having all the people just like lose their minds and love it, and just the feedback was just like, you know, that fed that confidence in me. And, you know, don't get me wrong, when I was younger, I, you know, got a big head and had a, you know, was overinflated ego about it all. But I have supportive people that help me, you know, bring myself back to earth, and, you know, I really try to hold that within myself now. Like, I love the energy exchange when it comes to music. Like, you know, the louder you are, the louder I'm going to be. So let's make this happen. Yeah, and it's so much fun. Like, I go up there to have a blast. Like, I go up there to have the best time of my life. And like, honestly, I have had no substance in my entire life that has given me a bigger high than the one I get up on stage. Like,
you heard it here, guys.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just amazing. And I've seen one of your shows before, man. You do bring, not just with when you hear a recording of yourself, but even on stage, you bring a really amazing stage presence. And, you know, I know that when I've seen some artists, like, you know, the music's great, but then when you go and see a performance, the performance is like, there's just not as much energy for when you listen to their music. But definitely with you, man, like your recordings to your performance, you just bring this amazing stage energy, and you just are able to wow the whole crowd. So I remember that performance, and it was just, I think you had everyone at awe with and it was just, it's amazing. And do you think when it comes to performing that it's very important that you just have a good positive stage presence?
I think beyond positivity, it's just being completely honest with what's going on.
Yeah.
When, like, you know, and I have things I want to talk about. I have things I, you know, want to say. I want to talk about where these things come from. Like, you know, I am, like, you know, I consider myself a confident person. You know, I've got quite a loud presence, and, you know, that the stage is a platform for me to just fucking let it all out. You know, and I find that sometimes people get a little bit like, you know, it's a little bit different when they meet me in person, because like that energy on stage isn't always brought to just the interactions that I have just out in the streets, you know, and which is like, I use the platform that is provided to be that person, which is me, but it's, you know, always time and place. It's always, you know, learning when, you know, people have ears for listening, and people have ears for listening when you're up on stage playing to them.
Yeah, that's it. And so do you have, like, for people who are watching, who are like thinking, oh, I want to go and do what he's doing, you know, would be awesome. Like, do you have any advice for people who, you know, would want to do music, but they feel like they can't? Like, what would you say to those people?
I would say, if you want to, like, that first step is there in front of you. So it's just, like I said, like, just biting the bullet, walk into a place that you want to play at. You just ask them, bring your instrument, bring a demo, bring anything, and don't be afraid of getting hit back. Because like when, especially because I'm a, you know, independent musician and I do all my own gigs, I also like I send out all these emails, like, and I'm telling you right now, I could send out 100 emails over the course of a week and get 10 responses. You know, and it's, if I didn't send those 100 emails, I wouldn't have got those 10 responses. Like, don't feel disheartened when you're not, you know, given the opportunity straight away. If it's what you want to do, just keep plugging away. Have the resilience, have that ability, and I just know your worth, and don't rate your worth on what others think of you. You know, like if you playing music for yourself, like when you picked up that instrument, then when you initially picked up and you wanted to play, did you honestly think that when you picked it up that you're like, I'm going to be a rock star? No, you picked it up because I want to learn how to play this.
Absolutely.
And I picked up, I want to learn how to play this. I want to learn how to express myself with this. And you did that for you in the beginning. So still, when you're playing music for other people, you're playing for you. Play for you, always, and never ever be disheartened by people ranking your self-worth in their eyes. Because they're not you, they're themselves, and at the end of the day, it's the reflection of how they talk about themselves anyway.
Wow. That's well put. That's really awesome. So when it comes to your future projects, what do you have in the works?
Well, I just want to play at the moment. I just want to be out on stage and like, because that is something that nourished my soul. It was something that kept me sane, something that kept me alive. I know everyone's been having a hard time, you know, especially the last 3 months with everything that's going on in the world. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but
it's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, like I actually had 12 months worth of shows, you know, 4 or 5 festivals that were locked in, another 10 in the works, a tour, all cancelled on me, and that really fucking hit me hard.
Oh, I would have, absolutely.
Yeah, but in that time, like, you know, I've been going through a hard time within my life and within, you know, the music industry and the art industry being kind of cut. But it's also brought forth some music, you know, the bittersweet thing about, you know, being down, you have the ability to express. If you're an artist, you know, you've got your painting, you've got your modelling, you've got your singing, you've got your music, you've got whatever it is that you use to express yourself to help heal. And definitely my music has helped me, kept me sane throughout that time. So I've got 2 albums worth of music that I want to record. One of the albums is called Love and War, and the other album is called Memoirs of a Travelling Mind. And I want to release them relatively close to each other, because I feel like I'll be writing a lot more.
Yeah.
Obviously, the business of music is a whole nother thing within itself. So, like, you know, try to drip feed music. I got to get into a studio first. So yeah, it's also because my livelihood, the money making, was completely taken away from me. So
absolutely.
But yeah, I'll be plugging away, getting back into it, and hopefully getting a couple of albums released within the next 24 months.
Oh, that sounds good, man, and well, I look forward to hearing some of that music, and I think everyone else would be. And I want to say, well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to your home and talking about these inspirations and creating art, man. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm honoured to be a part of it.
It's good, man. And so I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has joined us and watched this video. I will leave all of Ben's links to his website, Instagram, Facebook, everything. So if you know that he's coming to your town in the future when people start performing again, definitely go and see his show. Stay tuned to the end of the video, because Ben will be performing a couple of tracks for this video. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
G'day guys, this is a track called Promise. And I can feel you're so over it, holding on to what's left of this thread. And oh, so tired and so sick of wondering if this will stick through to the end. Broken minds, suffering, and foolish actions done over again, 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 and again. Oh, I've made the same mistake, watching you fall to your knees, begging me please. love you, darling, and I'm so sorry, so please forgive me. Oh, I've made the same mistake, watching you fall to your knees, begging me please, just listen to me. I promise you from both our sakes, do more than best to wash away this pain, this pain, this pain, so we both can take it. So please forgive me for all the things that have caused you so much suffering. This song's called Bleeding, and it's about friction between two people that love each other, and just knowing that, you know, both sides have been going through pain, but also knowing we're both in intense need of holding one another and kind of recognizing that. So yeah, kind of my personal struggles with it. But the life of an artist and a musician, eh? Darling, I can read your mind. Something's breaking up the time. We're on the edge of this fucking night. Tell me to notice what ain't done right. But if you want this, I can feel us holding on so tight. And we're bleeding for love, we're missing the touch. I know that I fuck up a fuck this. We're bleeding for love. Darling, I can read your mind. Something's breaking up inside. We're on the edge of this fucking night. Tell me to notice what ain't done right. But if you want this, I can feel us holding on so tight. We're bleeding for love, we're missing the touch. I know that I fuck up a fuck this. We're bleeding for if you want this, I can feel us holding. And we're pleading for love. We're missing deep touch. I know that I fucked up a fuck days. We're bleeding for love. We're bleeding for love. We're missing deep touch. I know that I fuck up the fuck days. We're bleeding for love. I know that day.